I'm here today with Coach Schmidt of the Andale football team. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions today.
Okay.
First one, how do you feel with the team's success in 2019?
Oh, I think I was happy with the success. Obviously to win all of our games and win a state championship, and that was kind of the goal. I think there's other things that we evaluate as coaches in terms of how players do off the field, in terms of how players do with grades. I mean, there's other things just in terms of how kids act. So not only is it about winning games, it's also about how other kids do on and off the field. I think for the most part we did a pretty good job, but there's always things to improve upon. We had kids get some suspensions during the year and other things like that. So, I mean, those things happen, but I hope the kids learn from them and move forward and do a better job.
The new season is still around 200 days away. Are you already preparing for the next season?
We are. Football's 24/7, 365. I've been to 3 or 4 clinics in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I work on football every day. So it's one of those deals where you're constantly working on. I have good teacher's aides that label film for me and label plays and ODK and do different things. And I mean, you have to put work in the off season to be ready to go by the time things roll around. The other thing is, well, obviously the weight room is a daily deal with kids getting bigger and faster and stronger, and that's all sports, but no doubt about it, we're always working on it.
Sir. You are losing 7 to 8 starters on the offense and 4 on the defense. How are you going to compensate for those losses?
Well, we're losing some good kids. We had some good athletic seniors, so they'll be tough to replace. I think the thing that's been fun at Andale is it always seems like kids step up. So we're constantly evaluating kids, young kids, even as the season's going on. We have conversations as coaches about what does it look like for next year and how do we get those kids ready. We've benefited from long seasons, and when I say long seasons, in November a lot of times, we're looking at other players, not only for that year, but for the year beyond. So I think that'll be the challenge to the juniors and sophomores who will step up and kind of take the positions of guys like Cole Landers and Creighton Camp, some really key guys that we're going to be missing. So that'll be the key.
How are you going to prepare for next year?
Oh, I think much of the same. We've kind of come up with a format that we feel like has worked, over the last couple of years. There's always wrinkles that you're trying to put in. I think offensively there's something that I've looked at is how do we do more misdirection when we just can't pound guys. And, obviously you look at personnel too, of guys coming in, what do they do well and how can we get them the ball more, or certain things like that. So there's always things that you're preparing for, and there's always things that you're trying to do a little bit different. But with that said, we've kind of come up with a format that we feel like has worked. So it'll probably be much of the same.
Yeah. What would be the keys for the next season to repeat a state title?
I think stay healthy. I think that was the number one most important thing for us this year. We felt like we had the kids to do it, but when you lose some of your good kids, it's tough. In a 3A, 4A school, we're not a derby. We're not those type of schools where they have 2,000 kids and 140 on the football team. If we lose key guys, then that hurts. That was the tough thing with losing Easton Hunter early in the year. We kind of felt like, man, if he doesn't get healthy, what will things look like? Noah Meyer did a good job stepping in for him. And then, for next year, if we lose some of the guys and Eli Rowland and Noah Meyer and, on and on and on, guys like that, then, puts a strain on us as coaches and the team. So if we can stay healthy, that'll be key. But I think the other thing is that kids are truly committed to the team and doing whatever they can. We moved guys' positions this year, and I felt like for the most part kids did a good job of that. I mean, Caden Winter would be an example of that, a guy that played fullback previous and then moved to offensive line. If he doesn't do that, we're probably not as good. If kids are willing to buy into that team concept, then I think we could have a great run at it. But injuries and then just kids being bought in are the 2 keys, I think. Talent-wise, I feel like we have enough talent too, but it's always dependent upon what other teams have. A team that I've looked at already is Perry LeCompton. They only had 5 seniors. So they're going to bring back a lot of juniors, and they were in the state championship game. I've heard Topeka Hayden has a heck of a group. Supposedly they'll be senior loaded, so Cheney as well, as you know, they'll have a lot of kids come back. So we'll have some challenges.
Who will need to step up in the up to help the team next season?
Yeah, I think when you look at it, just getting into specifics, offensive line wise, we lose a lot of guys there. I mentioned Noah Meyer coming back at quarterback and having reps, and Eli Rowland coming back and having reps. We're going to lose some cornerbacks with Scott Easter and Cole Landers, so we'll be looking for guys there. Free safety. So defensive back wise, we'll be looking for some kids. But obviously up front, offensive line wise, you lose a guy like Creighton Camp, you don't replace him very easy. So we probably have 7 or 8, 9 guys that are probably in the mix truly, and we'll see who gets after it.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Coach.
I appreciate it. That was one of the better interviews I've been a part of.
Oh, really?